Perennials are just in bloom at my house. They look gorgeous. I've got rudbeckia that are in full color. My backyard has so many pretty flowers right now. And fall is when you get some great colors out of some fall blooming perennials as well too. So like these asters right here, loaded with blossoms, cute pinkish purple flowers. There's some deep purple and blue flowers, and the chrysanthemums are all kind of fall colors. So the perennials are just looking great right now, and it's a fun time to enjoy those flowers when things are starting to cool down. But what do you do when the flowers are all done? You know, and how do you clean them up and get them looking good for fall and for winter? So like this monarda right here, the blossoms are all spent. I mean, they're just all the colors falling off of them, and in just a couple days these will be done. And so after they're done blooming, you don't want them looking straggly and falling all over the place. We want to trim them up. And so basically, after they're done blooming, you just want to go in, and usually I'll go down about 5 or 6 inches and trim all those blossoms off. So we can just take those and trim them back and get them looking a little bit better. A lot of times those blossoms are heavy, and so the weight will pull those branches down, and it'll break some of them off. So it's a good idea to just get in there and just trim them back and make them look a lot better, and not quite so leggy and tall and flopping all over the place. And then the plants will actually generate some more strength through the late summer and into the early fall. And let's let the leaves grow, because they're pretty much done blooming for right now. But we'll pretty much just let the leaves grow, and the perennial will gather a little bit more strength for winter time. Really good time to fertilize them after they're done blooming. You know, slow release fertilizer, something like, you know, Start and Grow, because that lasts about 3 to 4 months. Very gradual feed for the perennials. But just let them continue to grow like that. Once we start to get some hard frost and it's time to clean the yard up for winter, that's when we want to really cut things down and get them ready for winter, and so you don't have to do much with them for spring. So I'm going to get rid of those. I always have a sharpener with my hand pruners, so when I'm out pruning, they're not cutting quite as clean. You can just put a nice new edge right on those pruners. So I carry that in my back pocket pretty much all the time, and I can just put a nice clean sharp edge on my pruners when I'm using those. So great little tool to have. Hard frost has come. Perennials are really done for this year. If you don't want to have to clean them up in the mud and the mess and the muck next spring, really recommend you clean them up in the fall. It's a much better time to trim those perennials down. Then you don't have a mess to clean in the springtime. It's already done. They just start coming up all brand new from the root system. Everything that's up, everything that's showing, even on this daylily right here, everything that's showing is going to die back through the winter time. And so we're going to want to trim all of our perennials right down to the ground to clean them up and get them ready for next year. So daylilies like this, I would just go through and just trim those right down to the ground. And you can just take all those trimmings and you can compost them and throw them in your compost pile or put them in your green recycler, and that's pretty much it. So for fall, that's what my daylilies look like. You know, we've trimmed them right down till there's just nothing left, and all the cuttings goes in my green waste or in my composter. And I would do the same thing with all my perennials, whether it's my bee balms or my asters. You're just going to take those and you're going to cut them right down to the ground, and you can use a hand pruner or you can use a weed whacker. Sometimes if it's a lower growing one, I'll just take the lawnmower just right over the top of them and just trim those right down to the ground, so that there's not much foliage or growth left on there. We're just going to cut them right down, and if you would like to, you can mulch them with a little bit of mulch, a little bit of soil prep, or some shredded leaves. But most of the time the perennials are hardy enough that they'll just come through the winter without any problem, and we want them down nice and trim and close to the ground, so that when winter comes, the snow will go over the top of them, and they'll winter over just fine just underneath the snow. And in the spring you'll get all new growth that comes back, and you'll have great big beautiful perennials that will increase in size. If we do that little bit of fertilizing in the fall, it'll feed them throughout the winter time, get them ready for next year. And in the spring, you don't have to clean them up and get them ready, because I already did it last fall when it was much easier to do. And you use that extra leaf material to throw in your composter and put somewhere else next year. So take my recommendation and get those perennials deadheaded when it's time, and when we're ready to get things ready for winter, cut them right down to the ground, give them a little bit of fertilizer for the winter time, and away you go. You'll be ready for beautiful perennials next year.